Welcome back to the Quantum Guide Show. Today, I'd like to introduce you to my returning guest, Tom Sherman, who discovered the new calendar. The new calendar divides time into its natural, organic units for the first time in the history of time. Not only did his scientists discover the fifth season of the year, but they also developed and implemented new units of time for users to better plan, track, and divide their months. The new calendar is a reinvention of the calendar based on the 2017 discovery of the fifth season of the year. The new calendar is a new way to organize your time, and it is a new way to think about time, your life, the world, and the universe. The new calendar has been under development by a team of American scientists for over the past decade. All of the links can be accessed through the description box below this video. Please do leave us a comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and please do share this podcast with your friends. So, just waiting a few minutes while Tom gets himself sorted out. He's here. Thank goodness. I'm so happy to have brought him back.
Hello.
Oh, Tom, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you? It's great to see you again, Karen.
Well, it's good to see you too. I always think of you this time of year because this is basically when the fifth season, or not fifth, but I guess the second after autumn comes the fall, which is
Right.
before winter. And so the apples
That's
are
right.
falling. So I always sort of think of you this time of year.
That's great. Yeah, it is that magical time of year where we're going from the fourth into the fifth season, and that the sort of the beauty of the system kind of shows itself through nature at these transition points in between each season. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's always great to go into the new season. I was just thinking about it yesterday. Out back, I got a pecan tree, and the pecans are starting to open up and drop, and that's classic. Right around this time of year, that's when it always happens. So it's yeah, it's like
Yeah,
clockwork.
yeah, for us it's apples.
Hmm.
So I'm
Nice.
wondering, Tom, do you want to talk a little bit? I did put the link below in the description for everybody so they can watch the show we did together last year and pick up sort of the basics on how you came about with this. Oh, you've got a beautiful baby.
Yeah, yeah, we do. This is my
Oh,
baby. Say hi. This is
hi,
Lid the kid, aka Old Frog.
old
But
frog.
yep.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yep.
very
It's been a
beautiful.
wild year. It's been a wild year, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't think you
So
had that little addition to your family last year.
no, no, no. So
Is
she's
that your first,
it
Tom?
is. It is.
Yeah, do
Yep.
you ever wonder what you did with your time before you had
Oh
a
my
child?
goodness. It's it's
It
unbelievable.
is. It
Unbelievable.
is.
I had so much time. I thought I had none, but I was rolling in it. And now now I really don't have time. It's true.
Yeah. And I bet you and the wee wifey are still not getting much sleep. That I don't know how parents do it because the first couple of years you just don't get any sleep.
yeah, it is amazing. I remember in the first couple weeks, when is we were at this we had to wake up every 2 hours and feed her and all that stuff, and I was like,
Oops, your sound just cut out, Tom.
sorry, that was blame it on the baby. Um the Yeah, I was thinking in the first couple weeks, waking up to feed her every couple hours, and she's screaming and stuff, and I was like, how did they ever do this? How did we ever do this back in the day when, you're worried about maybe a predator in the jungle next to you or something like that, and you still got to wake up every 2 hours. And anyways, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a steep learning curve, that's for sure, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
mean, you
great.
really aren't prepared till you do it, really. And the first
Yeah.
one is always like an experiment. And then after that, it gets easier, sort of. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, that's the goal.
so, do you want to tell people briefly about well, not too much into the history, but basically how you divide up the calendar to come up with 5 seasons. I think
Sure.
it's really interesting. Before you explain that, I also wonder if you want to touch upon how it seems like everything in this system is set up to go against our natural rhythms, our natural ways of being, including the calendar system. It doesn't make any sense. Nobody can, figure out how many months to each, how many
Hmm.
year, sorry, how many days to each month. It's
Yeah.
just screwy all the time, and it goes against our natural rhythm. So, do you want to talk a bit about the 5 seasons and how that fits in ideally to the way that we are as human beings?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's so yeah, basically the system we're living in is definitely an imperfect model of what we're trying to do with the new calendar, which is divide time into its sort of natural periods so that you can live sort of in harmony with nature and in balance with it rather than constantly sort of fighting against it, it seems like right now. And so
Mhm.
um so I guess I'll go into first how we do it with the new calendar, and then maybe go into a little bit more of the back history of the other one, where uh, basically there's two ways to divide 365 days in the year into even units, and that's either you have 5 73-day periods or 73 5-day periods. So when we were creating this new calendar system, we decided to focus on that 5 73-day period part because it was the largest available unit that we could to divide the year into smaller sections. And so then we had these units of the 5 73-day periods, and we decided to line it up according to the winter solstice. And so that's sort of how the system kind of disclosed itself to us, where the first season ran from winter. The first of winter goes from December 21st until March 3rd, and then the second season goes from March 4th until May 15th, which aligns with the spring that we're used to in the northern hemisphere. The third season lined up with summer as far as May 16th until July 27th, and then the autumn goes from July 28th until October 8th, which is kind of like the inverse of spring. We're getting the late season crops coming in, like you were talking about with the apples and all that sort of good stuff. We're on the other side of the equinox, so nights are or of the solstice, and we pass the equinox, so nights get longer. Um, and then the final season of the year goes from October 9th until December 20th, and that's your classic leaves turn brown, fall on the ground. And so w- by by creating the system and then um, having nature, by having this heavy focus on nature and the world that we're living in, and the parameters that we use, which is the solar calendar system that has 365 days in a year in it, um, and then kind of breaking it into its natural parts and setting it in tune to Earth's natural orbit. It just has created um, this cyclical harmony that creates a system you can depend on, and it doesn't seem as haphazard and um, uh, disjointed as the Gregorian calendar is. So I always used to get caught off guard with things like recurring holidays that I'm supposed to buy a bunch of presents for Christmas. I'm supposed to send out a Christmas card. I'm supposed to do all these things, and then all of a sudden, I turn the calendar page, and all of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Whereas now, I'm always sort of constantly in tune with the natural cycle of the year of winter's ending, and I'm seeing the leaves budding, and I'm seeing the birds coming back from their migrations, and it really helps keep you grounded and aware of your position, in each year's journey, as it were. So yeah, that, and then to answer the other half of the question, which is, why or how these systems got created that sort of trap us. I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword where, to one degree, people are making, the reason we came up with a calendar was to track time, was to track these seasonal progressions of, either natural changes to the weather, or to animals that are migrating, or towards the crops that we're cultivating. And so, you know we're creating these primitive systems back in the day, and don't have the fine tuning, scientific and mathematical logical knowledge that we have now. So even though we're creating, so basically an imperfect system gets created initially that doesn't have the standards that most measurement systems do, since most measurement systems were created, within the past few hundred years. And then
Mhm.
what ends up happening is, uh, people in power who are supposed to be the caretakers of systems, end up using it for their own good, and using it to further their own interests, rather than keep the end user, and the people in mind.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mhm.
that.
Absolutely. And what I really like about the five-season calendar is the winter solstice is right at the beginning of winter,
Mhm.
and then the summer solstice is halfway through summer, and that's what you would expect. You would expect it to be in the middle of our summer,
Mhm.
instead of being, at the end of summer. It just makes
Right.
more sense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's that sort of, that's that sort of anchoring that the system gives you, where the shortest day of the year is the very beginning, and then the longest day of the year is the exact middle day of the middle period of the year. So there's no more sort of guessing of, where am I in this cycle. That's what happens with the old calendar, where, since we have these shifting amounts of days in the month, and it's tough to divide 31 by 2 anyways, so then where is the exact middle of a year? It's just tough to tell. But versus having the start point, the midpoint, and the end points sort of all coalesce, um and create these nodes in time that allow you to sort of ground yourself naturally, is, yeah, it is really sort of one of the best parts of it, that we weren't really even we weren't really even trying to do that. That's just one of those happy, moments of serendipity that the calendar has really, imparted. So I don't know.
mhm,
Yeah, it's tough to fight it when it's you know it's the power of the universe, sort of unfolding. But
mhm, mhm. Yeah, I think it's super interesting. I remember initially I saw you on, I'm not sure whose show, Rex Bear or somebody, and I went, "Oh my God, this makes so much sense." So I've actually directed a lot of people to your website, people who've noticed there's something off about time and about our calendar and the way we
mhm.
perceive reality, and then of course learning more about the new calendar. It makes perfect sense. So is there, what else would you like to tell us about the new calendar?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm happy to discuss anything about it. I I don't have anything off the top of my head, but let
That's
me.
that's okay. I was wondering if you got my email that made you co-host so that you could screen share if you wanted to.
Oh, okay. Sure. Let
Did you
me.
want to check your email and see if it's in there?
Yeah,
And I
think I
realize
clicked that.
you've got your hands full with the wee one. I didn't realize that when I put all this responsibility out
Oh,
to
you're
you.
good.
Sorry about
You're
that.
good. No worries. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to bite off more than I can chew. That's what that's what I do. Um, so yeah, I guess here, let me share some slides. I can run through a bit of a speech. I can see how much I remember of it. Of a speech I gave earlier this year.
Did
Um,
you do you have the bar across the bottom that has present?
yes. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Let me cue that in. Dun, dun, dun. All right.
Basically, it's present and then window, and then you choose you may have to have the file open for it to recognize it.
Okay.
So don't
Gotcha.
worry, there's no big rush.
Very good. Very good. So yeah, this is gonna be an excerpt or potentially the whole speech that I gave earlier this year. Um, I did a TED talk or a TEDx talk
Oh,
in
nice.
Williamsburg. Yeah, it was fun. I only forgot my lines once at the very beginning, so no big deal. It was great. Um, but yeah, it was
Oops, now your volume's gone. You're muted. Baby's helping.
yeah. Lid the kid. I like to say she's in the control room, but sometimes she's got better ideas.
Yeah, they've got a 2-foot length arm with a 3-foot reach. I don't know how they do it, but
Tell me about it. It is um it is amazing. And all right, let me just I could have sworn it was on this. I'm just trying to find
that's okay.
my crib notes as well. All right, let's see. Oh, no.
Yeah, StreamYard's a little different than Zoom. I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah, I've used StreamYard once or twice before. I like it. It's a little more um complicated up to a degree, but it's also it does all right, I guess. Let me see. So can I let
But yeah, like
me
I said, you might have to close the share and then open the file, go to a different window and open the file, and
Okay.
then go back into present and start over again. Because
All
I'm not
right.
seeing any image on the,
Okay. All right. So
yeah,
I'll stop the share. Let's do
yeah,
present it
and
again.
open the file so it's open,
Okay. And then we'll do.
and then go back to present,
Oops. Okay.
window, and choose it. Don't
Screen.
worry, folks, for the
Done.
listeners and the viewers out there, it'll be worth it.
All right. How about now? Do you see that? Do you see it now?
Let's take a look.
Oh, there it is. Sweet.
But there's nothing. Oh, I see. Okay, we are there. I'm gonna
All
just
right.
go, yes, so that we're on the side.
And then pull up my notes to the side so I can do these side by side. All right.
There we go.
And away we go. Let me just double check. All right, perfect. So, all right, let's see. Here's what we're Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Just getting set up as always. All right, here we go. Now I'm actually ready. All right, so every morning we wake up, look at ourselves in the mirror, and brush our teeth. So, what do we think about in that early morning self reflection? We might think about the past. Uh, Maybe it's an anniversary of a generational where were you moment. The JFK's assassination, the week of the pandemic lockdown. Um, we might think about the future. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Ah. We might think about the future, um, upcoming deadlines, the next seasonal holiday like spring break or Thanksgiving, maybe
Mhm.
30, 50 years from now to your retirement. Rarely do we think about the present. So, counting the number of brushstrokes, concentrating on breathing properly. Most moments are unremarkable and seem the same from one to the next. And other times, moments occur where that create nodes that define our personal, collective, or global reality. So, somehow, the present moment is caused by events from the past which emerge from the future and enter into the present, which then instantly fuses again to the past and alters the course of our future reality. So we're familiar with an echo fading into the valley or water rippling across a pond after a pebble drops into it, or the proverbial butterfly flapping its wings um, and creating a hurricane halfway across the globe. So moments and memories also ripple across our lives. Uh, Unlike the butterfly flapping, the rock dropping, or shout fading, memories are static events that continue to generate and regenerate their impact when remembered. All of a sudden, we're reliving and experiencing those moments as vividly as if we were there. So, this chain of reaction has been ongoing since the dawn of time, and somehow, the Big Bang, an event 13.8 billion years ago that's described by scientists as a pre physics God knows what, created a chain reaction that created the entire expanse of the universe, which now is culminated in this moment. Um, my name is Tom Sherman. This is kind of wild. I don't know. I'm just reading this speech, so cut me
It's
cut
all
me off
good.
if this is too much. But I've spent the past decade researching the science of time, calendars, and measurement systems. Um, during which I discovered the fifth season of the year, invented a new calendar system that divides time evenly in a precise, accurate, and logical manner for the first time in the history of time. So, Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. So, in this moment, we can break down reality into those parts where you and I are at our cores lumps of energy. So, we've been sustained from the calories of our last meal, whether it was in the form of plants, animals, or some sort of synthetic human engineered bioproduct. So, energy sources inevitably generate vibrations that create waves. So, the light waves that are being emitted from the spotlight or my sun or the computer screens reflect off me into your eyes. Um, the sound waves from my voice pulses through. What's up, baby? The sound waves from my voice pulse through the speakers into your ears. Um, and both of these waves are singular inputs out of many that create your personal reality through your senses, which then gets stored in your brain as a memory. So the vibrational wave, the greater the energy, the greater the vibrational wave. So a comet slamming into the ocean might create a mile high wave that causes mass extinctions, while a pebble dropping into a tranquil pond with a satisfying plop might create a moment of peace. Um, so, oh no, I lost my spot. Um, doo, 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 doo. So, frequency now adds in the element of time into this equation. So, which is one of the most interesting but least understood factors in the universe, in my opinion. Memories are the moments in time that keep occurring, and the frequency in which they are remembered drives our lives. So they can be catastrophic moments that create and destroy ecosystems, like when Coach Hooper caught the wrestling team drinking whiskey after our state tournament, which ultimately led to my expulsion from high school, getting a GED, restarting my journey to college, and a career on Wall Street from scratch. I replayed and relived that moment thousands of times as I was brushing my teeth, scouring it for what I could have done differently in the past, using it as motivation to overcome my failures. Or it could be a small, seemingly insignificant moment like a pebble hitting a still pond. For example, later when I was in business school, um, the professor at College of William and Mary during what would become known as the Great Recession, my 8 a.m.'s bonds professor came in one morning and said, "In this chapter, we're going to learn why, in theory, we should never see negative interest rates in the bond market. Um, but right now, we do see negative interest rates. We'll still learn this chapter anyways because it will all sort itself out." And so that offhand joke became a grain of time that was stuck in my mind. That uh, It irritated me as I brushed my teeth over the next few years. We should have ripped up the textbook, should have rewrote it rather than carry on as if nothing was wrong. um, it became such an aggravation that I began to search for deeper truths buried in geology courses. And then by the time I ended college, I decided to forego that career on Wall Street and become a rogue scientist and inventor, a decision that ultimately turned that annoying that annoying moment into my greatest pearl. So I began keeping a notebook with ideas, inventions, research, one of which was time. Specifically the history, science, engineering behind our calendar and the measurement of time. So um, we can all agree something is deeply flawed with our current timekeeping system, the calendar. Starting a new month midweek is like if we started a new day mid-hour. Time
Yeah.
is you know time is
Yeah.
divided on yeah is it's divided unevenly. Lengths of months vary from one to the next. There's not 52 weeks in a year, there's 52 weeks in one day, which creates a slow cycling where today is tomorrow next year. Unless it's a leap year, then it'll be 2 days from now. um, uh, the day and date of a given year only repeat on a 6 year, 11 year cycle. So that's why we know our birth date, but often don't know the day of the week that we were born on, since it's constantly changing from year to year. Leap day is a necessary mechanism, but the only reason it's observed in February is because that's the only obvious place to put it. Like, oh, where do we put the extra day? Oh, in the 128-day month. So it's just madness. So you know, um, unlike my bonds professor, I was determined to figure out how to fix it. And so after years of research, I realized if there's 365 days in a year, we can only divide it into two base factors, 5 and 73. Um, this is actually the part where I've said this probably multiple times to you and your audience, so I don't need to go word for word through the speech. But basically, you take that and you start on the winter solstice. The first period goes till March 3rd. The spring, snow, etc. The spring, the buds come out and the migrations begin. New life. Summer, the exact middle day of the middle period of the year lands on the summer solstice, where everything is just green, vibrant, lifelike. Uh, Autumn, July 28th until October 8th, the late season crops coming in, the sweet corn, watermelon, apples. That's why I was thinking about that this year. That's why teachers like apples, because school starts when apples are in season.
Mhm.
It's not an inherent, like you don't become a teacher and automatically like apples. It's just that's what you have on hand. Um, and then fall, leaves turn brown, fall on the ground. So let's see, catching back in. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, basically, that's about that's about it as far as the speech goes. Um, uh, in the end, we were able to create a system that's anchored, reusable, frees its users from the illogical madness from the Gregorian calendar, gives
Hmm.
gives you the power to generate your own frequencies, rather than to sort of be at the whim of an ancient broken system. So, we can have a system where all the months have the same amount of days. All the weeks can be subdivided into even parts. Allows allows people to plan, track, analyze time with a degree of precision and accuracy that's never been possible before.
Do
It
you
is possible. Yeah.
do you have an image of the way that the days are laid out and the months with the new calendar?
Let me see if I can pull one up. Not in
And if
this.
I'm rushing you, just ignore me till you're ready.
No, no, you're good. You're good. Let me see if I can pull one up real quick, and then it's not in this presentation, but like I said, that was pretty much wrapped up.
Because
Do,
it's just
do,
so
do.
orderly and it makes so much sense. It's really and you know we live in a mathematical system. Physics is all based on math. Everything's on numbers and math. And so
Mhm.
the new calendar just fits in so beautifully with all of that.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, the tough part about it is the toughest
That's a
part
good
about it
image too.
is that it's a uh let me see. Oh, maybe I need to stop screen before I presented a new one. The tough part about it is just the amount of inertia that is ongoing in our current system. But otherwise, like you say, it makes a lot more sense to have an updated version of a calendar that is more precise, accurate, fits into mathematical models uh better. But it's just where we're on this, on the you can't change a horse midstream, as they say, type deal. And it's the overwhelming momentum and inertia of people using the current system is it's tough. And that's why it takes, currently, the type of people that use it are people who are able to, you know beyond people who are interested about it, and just are interested in it as a you know as a curiosity or whatnot. But like, to actually live on it, it's people that are able to exist outside of the current framework as it is. I mean, it's hard to have a I was actually doing it this year. I was helping a friend out. I was doing some consulting work, and they're on the Gregorian calendar. So you got to, you know what I mean? If you have a 9 to 5, you're, you, it's tough to tell your boss, well, hey, it's Pluto day, hold on. you know, but if you're able to exist as your own entrepreneur, or on a homestead, or, you're not necessarily bound to societal standards, then it's a lot easier to kind of break free from that system, from the chains that bind us. But it's
I
yeah.
It would be my guess that farmers have had
Mhm.
to basically function by the new calendar as well as the Gregorian for some time because there's you got to plant when you got to plant, not when the calendar says, but when it's the correct time. You have to harvest
Mhm.
when you need to harvest, right?
Definitely. I mean, definitely, and it's kind of one of those things that there's definitely been times where I've shown it to people, and I don't know what the deal is with. Oh, there it is. Finally. There's definitely been times when
Sorry,
it's all
I
right.
wasn't sure if you were ready for me to put it up yet or not.
Oh, okay. I got you. I didn't know if I had to. I didn't know if I had to click it or not. There've definitely been times that I've shown it to people, and um, they're they're like, yeah, they're already sort of intuitively on it. and and
Yeah.
and like you say, it's people like farmers, it's people like, around here we have a lot of tourism. We've got some beaches, and so there's a defined sort of shoulder season, as they call it, which is before and after summer, where it's still nice out. So if you're a local, you can get to the beach and enjoy the beach, without all the hubbub. So there's definitely a lot of people who operate and know about it intuitively. It's just a matter of, really a matter of sort of getting it out there, outreach, educating people about it, and
Mhm.
um, because yeah, the folks who do know about it, or who do sort of operate on it, the farmers, gardeners, outdoors folk, they're definitely, it clicks. One, versus somebody that, um, might work in an office in a climate controlled,
Yeah,
cubicle without access to sunshine most of the time. It's a lot harder for them to grasp it, because they've been so far abstracted from nature that, it's almost easier to not not even worry about it, or think about the changing of the seasons, and treat
yeah.
every day like it is its own, the same sort of thing. So,
But look at
and
how beautifully this is laid out. This makes such perfect sense, you know?
mm,
Um, it just makes such perfect sense. And it's the same every year, isn't it? So it
it's
never changes. The days of the week never change. It's always the same. You can depend on it.
yeah, it's every month. It's the month always starts on the first day of the week. It always ends on the last day of the week. Um, there's always 36 days in a month. The each season has one day mid spring, or mid season in the middle, that, um, kind of marks as a sort of, midpoint, for you to recalibrate and readjust your goals, and see how your season's been going so far, if you need to change anything upcoming, for the second half of it. So
Hmm.
it is, and then like you say, the best part is, well, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a bad part for me. I'm realizing. Best part is, you get to the end. All you got to do is flip it back to the beginning and start back over you're back at winter. So it's an
Hmm.
anchored system. You don't need to go buy a new calendar every year. You don't need to, change everything out, just because, the planned obsolescence that the other calendar has is sort of gone.
Hmm.
So it is nice, and it's one of those things where, I keep a calendar on the wall, and you can mark dates, and they're stagnant. They're persistent throughout the years, uh, versus, um, I used to mark up my calendar, and then every year when I would throw it out, I was like, well, the things that I'm trying to maintain on a, consistent level of, hey, like, I want to go have a family vacation this time of year, this weekend every year at this time. You can't do it. It's impossible to do it, because you end up, the system's always changing from one year to the next. You have to get a completely new thing, so you can't really have that sort of persistent memory of, this time this year, this is what happened.
Hmm.
If you want to mark anything, that's sort of.
Oh, you're muted again.
Goodness. Anyways, sorry about that.
That's
So yeah,
okay. That's okay. You got your hands full.
yeah, it's a, so yeah, that's all, is just, it's great to have on the wall, and sort of keep, you can keep track of life throughout a longer time frame a lot easier, because,
Hmm.
you don't have to sort of throw out and get rid of everything all at once, and sort of try to reload it. I remember as a kid, I would always try to keep track of my extended family's birthdays, but what's the point of, every year I get a calendar, and got to figure out when everybody's born again and write it on it and then throw it out at the end of the year. So, how is that really helpful?
Mhm.
It'd be a lot better to just have something that, you can go back and revisit. So
Mhm.
that's
Yeah, we kinda have to have 2 calendars, your calendar and the old calendar, just, uh,
good.
the old crazy making one, just, and then, I don't know,
Well, there is the, so
'cause we
you,
do live in
yeah,
both realities,
it's,
really.
it's true. It's true. And there is in the, it's compatible as far as the dates of the year will always align with the new calendar. So the first of winter will always be December 21st, and so there is Gregorian dates embedded in the new calendar to allow that sort of uh, compatibility and living with a foot in both systems. The tough part is it just doesn't track weekends, which is normally how people view their year through the
Mhm.
Gregorian calendar is by the work week and what they're doing on a weekend. So it can be tough to pinpoint weekend, Gregorian weekends with quickly, but
Well,
it's
what I would do is I would just take a pencil crayon,
mhm,
whatever my favorite color is, and I would just shade the days on the new calendar,
yeah,
uh, that are the Gregorian weekends. I would just do it that way,
that's good.
and then I would know right away by looking at it.
Yeah, I like that. I sometimes put a line at the very top under the 2 days that are on the weekend. But yeah,
Mhm,
there's a couple ways to work around and kind of create those visual cues for yourself. Um,
mhm,
that's what's been cool about it, and what's also been cool is we've had a Discord server set up where people have been joining it and um, kind of throwing in their tips on exactly that sort of stuff of how they use it and how they
mhm.
um, sort of tips and tricks about yeah, how they're able to embed it in their life and so, like we're talking about these workarounds of how
Mhm.
do you use this system when sometimes we're bound to the old traditions that we might not have chosen, but you got to be a part of it.
Yep,
you got to
yep,
you got to be a part of it somehow. So
yep, you do.
yeah,
Tom, I'm wondering, I'd like to just quickly play a 2-minute promotion,
okay.
because YouTube is not gonna monetize me. They keep saying that my content is misleading and dangerous, and so I
Wow.
have to sort of put on a little promotion during each show. So I'm wondering if you don't mind me playing a 2-minute, promotion, then we'll come back, and then you can tell folks where they can find you, where they can get the calendar, and, I'm hoping people are thinking, about this as a real unique gift for the seasonal holidays coming up.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to quickly play this, and then we'll come right back in two
Okay.
minutes.
Sounds good.
Hi guys, break time for a short message. YouTube will not monetize me, so if you enjoy my content and want to support my efforts, help me to cover my expenses by visiting my shop to buy yourself a beautiful orgone generator. Zendome's Orgonite are my unique brand, and they are ethically sourced, handmade, and double charged for maximum effect. They are only available through my website, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. Many people are finding comfort with Zendome's orgone generators, commonly called Orgonite. They are a simple compound which balance ambient energy by converting negative energy and EMF into positive healing energy with many easily confirmed health benefits. They are a simple compound with alchemic and energetic properties. These devices function as self-driven, continuously operating, highly efficient negative to positive energy transmutation factories. They help diminish the harmful effects of electromagnetic frequency radiation by attracting and converting negative energies, retuning them into new and more healthful sound and light wave patterns. And they help to purify the atmosphere and accelerate plant growth. They also help stimulate positive mood and are a natural remedy for poor sleep patterns. When orgonite is within range of any corded or wireless electronic device, it will efficiently and continuously transform that energy into orgone as it is being transmitted. This essentially creates orgone energy transmitters out of any and all emitters of harmful negative energy. You can use these devices for focusing the mind, healing, meditation, and for spiritual growth. Zendome's orgonite are my unique brand of orgone generators, and they are only available through my website. Don't be fooled by imitations. Check out my website to see my latest selection at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. That's KarenHolton healthcoach.com. Check them out today. Now, let's get back to the show. And we're back. So I have on the show today Tom Sherman. He is the person who discovered the new calendar. The new calendar is just makes so much sense, allows us to be, I think, more powerful creative beings because it helps us to orient ourselves along with our circadian rhythms and the seasons. And it's just such a beautiful and logical way of looking at time. And yeah, it's just beautiful. Also, Tom, I'm wondering if there are other people out there who have podcasts. Are you available to be guest to tell your story about the new calendar on their shows as well?
Yeah, for sure. I'm to tell anybody and everybody about it. I mean, I tell people all the time, it took Pope Gregory 200 years for him to get the world to adopt his calendar, and he had the full weight and faith of the Catholic Church behind him. So it's going to be at least a 200-year project, and we're starting a little bit behind the ball. We don't have we don't have quite as many resources as they did. So it's yeah, I'm happy to spread the word to whoever will listen to it. So
Mhm.
um
And the links are below. So I contacted Tom through the contact section of his website. But Tom, do you want to talk a little bit about the new calendar? Are they available for sale from your website? Uh,
yeah, definitely.
I just think
um
they would be an ideal gift, outside of the box, an amazing gift for all the festive seasons that are coming up. Whether it's Christmas or I
yeah,
don't know. I don't know what the
right.
different holidays are, but this is something that, regardless of what your faith is, you would find it interesting and suitable. And what a great gift! What a unique gift that would be.
Yeah, so here we go. This is a it's basically it's a wall calendar. It's a novelty. It goes through each season. It gives you all the holidays that are in each season. Like I said, it's got the Gregorian dates so that you can compare and contrast or whatnot. A couple tips, tricks, and traditions in the center. It also comes with a user guide, so that you can get a little bit more information about it on how to use it, a little bit of the history, or here's the seasons in their units, a little bit about leap year, the history of the calendar, or of the old calendar, frequently asked questions. So they're available on the website, for sure, for I believe it's $25, which includes shipping. And then it goes down from there, if you buy like a 5 pack or a 10 pack and stuff like that. um it's definitely a great gift item for people that are interested in math and science, people that are interested in gardening, farming, people that are interested in astrology, horoscopes. Um, there's a general category of people I call rebels that enjoy it, who are just people that question the systems that we're in, and the power structures that we live under, and why we do the things we do. Um, so it's really it's definitely it's got something for everybody. And I think there's a here's one of the crazy parts about this holiday season coming up. um I think you'll enjoy this, Karen. Is the So last year Thanksgiving occurred at the latest, or the earliest it could. And
Hmm.
this year Thanksgiving is occurring at the latest it could, since it's tied to the third Thursday of November. So is going to end up happening is we're going to lose a full week of time in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So if you normally anchor your holiday scheduling for shopping and getting the Christmas card out, and doing the photos and the holiday parties and all that sort of stuff, if you anchor your time from Thanksgiving to Christmas, you're going to wake up this year and have a full less week. So it's going to go from 35 days down to 28. um that's going to add like, so the holidays, there's already a spike in heart attacks and other cardiac events, because it is a stressful time to travel, to deal with family, to give gifts and make merry. So this year's going to be extra stressful for a lot of people, and they're not going to know why. And no one, you know what I mean? It's just going to be like, why is this year such a terrible, rough, tough year? And it's nothing to do with anybody's fault, beyond we're stuck in a system that can change, 7 days from year to year, of between two anchor points that we're supposed to use in order to keep ourselves stabilized. So, to keeping yourself stabilized in a destabilizing system is very hard to do. So,
Hmm. Hmm. Good point. That's really interesting. Now I'm wondering, Tom, if someone buys a 5 pack of calendars, would they also get 5 sets of the instruction manual that comes with them, so they can give those out along with the calendars?
yep, for sure. So every calendar comes in a if it's a 1 pack, it'll come in an envelope and look just like this. If it's
Hmm.
a 5 pack, it'll look like this, except there'll be five stacked on them. So the user guide's
Wonderful.
already meshed into the calendar, so it's easy for you to distribute them and package them up, ship them out, or wrap
Hmm.
them up and put them under the tree, however you want to do it.
And for those, I should let you go soon because you got your hands full, and she's been so good throughout the show, really good. Um, I just wanted to say this will be going out to a lot of people on an audio podcast.
Oh,
So
nice.
Tom, tell people verbally where they can find you. Of course, the links are in the description, but it's good for them to hear it if they're listening on audio.
Definitely, definitely. So yeah, you can find me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, that sort of stuff, at the new calendar. That's at the new calendar. And then our website is thenewcalendar.com. So that's thenewcalendar.com. And yeah, so come find us online, or on any social media channels. And yeah, we'll be happy to answer any questions. The My email is tom at the new calendar. So that's another good avenue. If you have questions about, maybe I didn't answer a question that you were hoping I did answer, or something like that, send me that. I'm happy to answer them on there, or get in contact with anybody. So tom at thenewcalendar.com, thenewcalendar.com, at the new calendar.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, before we go, I just wondered if there's any last words that you have for the audience, and I just want to give you a second in case there's anything that you didn't cover that you wanted to.
Um, no, I appreciate it. I just appreciate you having me back on, and it's always great to just sort of be able to let more people know about the 5 seasons, and that there are, there's yeah, it's just one of those things that, yeah, question what's going on, question reality, and do your research and find the answers. I don't know. I love yeah, I love encouraging people to sort of scratch that curiosity and that itch, because there's a lot of great questions out there that need to be answered. So, go
Mm-hmm.
for it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's great. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you, Tom, very much for being on the Quantum Guide Show today. Even though you had your hands full with baby and everything, you still showed up and gave a great presentation. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. And thank you to the listeners and the viewers, and whether you're live on the live or watching the replay. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. We'll say bye-bye, and we'll see you next week on the Quantum Guide Show. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for joining me for the Quantum Guide Show. Become the change that you wish to see in the world. Subscribe to my YouTube and other channels at Karen Holton TV. Click the like button, leave me a comment, and share this podcast with your friends. Check out my website at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com to see my free resources and amazing products and services. All the links will be in the description below. As part of the Forbidden Knowledge Network, you will find the Quantum Guide Show with Karen Holton, and also the Aliens and Angels podcast on all audio platforms. Until next time, keep up the good work.